Namaskaram to all of you who gathered at the Sunday discussion organized by the Ayush Ministry. My special namaskarams to our Honorable Minister Kiran Rijjuji. Well, yoga at work, yoga at home, that's not the way to look at it. Yoga is for life. When I say yoga is for life, yoga is about life. Yoga is of life. Yoga is the mechanics of life. So, how profoundly you understand the mechanics of life, that is how gracefully you will live, that is how successful you will be in whatever your endeavor is. The simple way to put it across is, today in the world, everybody, unfortunately even very young people, are complaining constantly about stress at work. Work is stressful. One reason, one fundamental reason is most of the people are doing something to get something. They're not doing what they really want to do. In the sense, our work activity, which could be normally for most human beings, the major or the majority of the time is consumed by work, and that majority of the time, they're doing something that they don't care for. This is very important that you change this. This is one important aspect of yoga, is that whatever you're doing, well, in yoga, in the Yoga Sutras, it is called Ishvara Pranidhyana. Well, don't think it's about some god, it simply means that what you're doing is always done as an offering, as a contribution to everything around you. When I say this, it doesn't matter what is the nature of your work. In some way, it is impacting somebody's life. Whether, like our minister is here, doing very wonderful things for the nation, or you're driving an auto rickshaw or a taxi, doesn't matter what you're doing. You can either do it as a contribution to impact every other life around you positively, or you can simply do it to earn a living. There is a beautiful story in the yogi culture. On a certain day, 3 men were working in one place. Another man came by and asked the first man, "What are you doing here?" That man looked up and said, "Well, are you blind? Can't you see? I'm just cutting stone." He was cutting stone. He went to the second man and asked, "What are you doing here?" He said, "Oh, I do something to earn a living. I have a family, I have to earn some money, so I'm doing this work." He went to the third man and asked the same question. He stood up in great joy and said, "I am building a wonderful temple here." This is the context of life that you need to change if you want yoga in your life. This is a fundamental context that you have to change. All 3 of them are doing the same work. In one man's experience, he's just cutting stone. In another man's experience, he's just earning a living. In another man's experience, he is creating a wonderful temple. Every single action that you do, if you do it this way, this is one fundamental dimension of yoga, of yama niyama. This will get taken care of. If this is taken care of with simple practices, very simple practices, you can alter the chemistry in your system within a few weeks of practice, that you can make this chemistry not just peaceful, you can make it blissful. When your chemistry is of blissful nature, then no matter what is the kind of situation, all you have, the only option you have is you do the best you can in every given situation. This is very important because in our lives, if we do not do what we cannot do, there is no problem. But if we do not do what we can do, we will become a disaster. Only if you are blissful by your own nature, that is, you are not trying to extract joy from what you do in the world, Your life is an expression of joy. Only if you do this, you will be able to use the full scope of your abilities, your intelligence and the opportunities that you have. Otherwise, you will end up living a life that you will not even do what you can do, and that is a disastrous life. Well, it's become fashionable for people to go about saying, I'm stressed out, I'm… I would like to hear young people saying, instead of stressed out, they must say, I'm blissed out. That will only happen if there is yoga in your life, because yoga is, on one level, is about changing the fundamental chemistry. Why chemistry? Well, every human experience has a chemical basis to it. What you call as peace, what you call as joy, what you call as misery, what you call as pain, what you call as suffering, what you call as ecstasy, what you call as agony, all of them have a chemical basis to it. If you create a chemistry of blissfulness, one thing that will happen to you in your life is, you are not the issue in your life. You are never the problem in any given situation. Well, only when you have the ability never to be the problem in any given situation, will you dare to stand up and confront problems in the world and see how to find solutions to it. Otherwise, when you yourself are a big issue, you will not take up any great issue. In this way, human potential is going to serious waste right now, simply because we have made it fashionable right from a kindergarten child talking about stress, school children talking about stress. This nonsense about stress must stop, because stress is not because of the nature of your work. Stress is simply your inability to manage your own body, manage your own mind, manage your own emotions and your chemistry. If you do not know how to manage this, you will be stressful, not because of the situations in which you exist, not because of the nature of work that you do, simply because you have become a disabled life. It is time that you bring this fantastic technology that we call as yoga. Technologies for well-being. I call this inner engineering, that you engineer yourself in such a way that you are blissful by your own nature. Now, you are not an impediment in your life. There are 1,000 impediments in the world around you. We will deal with it to the best of our capability, but you should never be an obstruction in your own life. But if you're tripping on your own feet, that is a tragic life. Bring yoga into your life. In its classical context, bring yoga in its purity into your life. This will be the end of a stressful thing. So, it is not about work being stressful, you are stressful, so you must change the quality of who you are. This is very, very important for the well-being of the individual, for the well-being and progress of the nation, and above all, for the well-being of the humanity. Let's make this happen. Bring yoga into your life. Everything that is necessary, we are willing to do. You must understand, myself and thousands of volunteers are working 7 days of the week, 18 to 20 hours a day. We don't look stressed, do we? Yes, sometimes we're exhausted physically, but never stressed. All this is being done so that there will be yoga in your life. Please make this happen for yourself. Let's make this happen. Bring yoga into your life and live a blissful life and explore the full depth and dimension of what it means to be human.